for Senate File 74. Clayton, could you call the roll?
Senator Crum,
Here. Sorry.
Senator Hutchings.
Here.
Senator Steinmetz. Representative Larson.
Here.
Representative Heft.
Here.
Representative McCann.
Here.
Thank you, Clayton. So we're here to talk about the amendment and the non-concurrence by the Senate. When the Senate met, the first amendment, page 2, line 14, we're for it. I mean, that's just a comma, so it's good. It's really the next part. And let me explain where the Senate position is, if you're okay. You guys took out line on page 4, or page 3, line 22 and 23, and then on page 4, line 1 to 14. And really, what that part did was accountability. Basically, they could only get this, what I call a hall pass, twice. And then after that, they had to get referred, they were going to go get some help. And if the police had to help them, fine. And it wasn't an open-ended, always forgiven type thing. I know we had in our conversation about, people that just abuse this and would always, and we didn't want that. So we had a lot of debate on, was it 1 time or was it 2 times? We listed the University of Wyoming students and said, okay, we all settled on it was going to be 2 times, once maybe using the example, once could be in the spring semester and then once in the fall. And hopefully it doesn't become habitual, but that's why it was 2 times a year. And that was really, it was just accountability piece.
So then if I may ask a question, so it sounds to me like the bill came out originally with 1.
Yes, sir.
And then you guys expanded it.
Yes.
To accommodate 2, so you did broaden it some.
Yes.
And then it came out, and so I think the conversation, and my counterparts and I had this conversation last night trying to accommodate some broader language, but it sounds like you guys actually already accommodated that.
We tried to. I don't know if it's appropriate, but that's what we tried to do.
Mr. Chair, I agree. We broadened it. I didn't want it to be broadened because I think it still allows these young lads or women to have this issue every year that they're at the university. But by broadening it and putting in the stipulation that they had to get medical help on that second time, I think that is awesome. So if we could, I think we're all in agreement, we'd like to bring it back to that on the Senate side.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, just to my colleagues on the House side, I visited with, I'm not on that committee. These 2 are on Labor and Health, and I visited with the chairman as well as Clouston and Ian. And they both did not have problems with this going back to the 2. So if that's the recommendation, if that's the motion.
It would be the Senate recommendation.
I just want to ask my colleagues if you have any heartburn with that.
Mr. Chairman, no heartburn. One of the reasons we considered our original position was by the testimony from the college students. Their concern was they didn't want any of their peers to be afraid to call for help at any time. And that putting, limitations on how many times they thought that maybe, this is a little outside it was a long time ago since I was a college student. I didn't participate in such things anyway, but they didn't want their fellow students to be afraid, regardless of how many times they to call again and help one another out in an emergency situation.
Representative McCann?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm in agreement with the consensus. Leave it at that.
Okay.
You want to make a...
Sherry, any other way? Senator
Mr.
Steinmetz,
Chairman,
I'm
thank
sorry.
you. No, I fully support the Senate position, and I thought we came to a good compromise on the floor of the Senate. And if you gentlemen are willing and the good chairman, I support that.
Okay. Does somebody want to make a motion, an official motion to that effect? Senator Hutchins.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that we concur with the Senate position on this for,
Adopt.
I-
Adopt the Senate position.
oh, yes, there you go. Mr. Chairman, I would move that we adopt the Senate position on this, Senate file. Was it
74.
74? Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
You
I'll
said,
second it if I have to.
Good. Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you.
Roll call?
Roll call, please, Clint.
Senator Crum,
Aye.
Senator Hutchings,
aye.
Senator Steinmetz. Aye. Representative Larson,
Aye.
Representative Heft. Aye. Representative McCann. Mr. Chairman, that is 6
I
ayes.
don't have anything.
Okay, we'll wait. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Motion carries. Thank you, guys. We'll get this drawn up and then I'll get it passed around. We'll get it all signed.
Thank you.
No, thank you guys very much. Thank you for your hard work over
then-
there.
I think have one of you, we'll talk about this when we get this, and that's kind of anticipate that one of you would bring this and explain why. Absolutely. Okay, good. Okay. And we'll practice